Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Anke and today I want to show you how I draw easy faces. I don't usually draw realistic faces. I just use some semi-realistic comic-y style, but I wanted to show you how I draw them. There are 1,000 different ways to draw faces, but let's see, maybe it is something for you and maybe you can learn a bit out of it. Otherwise, just see, have fun, say hello to my cat, and let's start. First thing, I start with a basic circle. Better. Yeah, my voice isn't still fully back, so I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I start with a basic circle, then I divide the circle about half, and for the first one I will draw directly from the front. Let's see if I can zoom a bit more. No. Okay, so I just fixed my camera. I draw, I divide the circle by half and then I draw a line in the middle. This is will be the middle of the face. And here you have to differentiate if you want to draw from a reference and the picture should look like the person on the reference. You have to pay more attention about the proportions, but this is just for showing the really basics. If you're interested in to draw a face like a reference picture, please let me know in the comments, so I will prepare a different tutorial for this as well. But this is just the basics, and I want to show you how I draw basic faces. So usually I just divide, or I just make notes where the nose should be, about here, and where the mouth should be. Oh no, let's do it a little different. Let's put the nose here, and I just pay attention that the size from here to here, or the length from here to here, where the nose will be, is longer than the part from here to about here, where the mouth will be. This shouldn't have the same size. This should be smaller than this one. How you start is totally up to you. You can draw holes for the eyes. I usually did this, but the last times I did it, I skipped this part. I sometimes draw a small circle here, where the nose should be. This is the pointy part of the nose. Then here are the nostrils. Is it the nostrils? I don't know. Die Nasenlöcher in German. I think these are the nostrils. You can start very light. And what you can do, because this is all three-dimensional, of course. You have to pay attention. You don't have to pay attention here where the dimensional part is. It's just laying the flat shapes on the face first and then start shading, but I think shading will be another part. So what you keep in mind is that here is the thinnest part of the nose. You can draw a slight triangle if you want to have the middle of the nose. You can also put a small triangle here if you want. It's totally optional. This is where the upper face part, die Stirn in German, if you want to learn some German as well, starts. So this is the narrowest part of the face where the nose ends, kind of way. And what I do here is I just look at the nostrils and draw an imaginary line up to the to this line, and then I know where my eyes will start. And because I draw a more comic style, I just look from the reference what shape of the eye I have or what I want to draw, and then I slightly draw the eyes first. And what you always have to pay attention is that everything is in line. What I did, or what I learned to do to know that everything is straight in line like I want to have, is to take my pen or whatever and look or check if everything is placed where it should be. Please don't pay attention to my cat. He's always like that. So I draw the upper lids and the lower lids as well, just slightly, not detail. It's just put the shapes where they should be. I can also draw pupils. And this is where this part becomes handy, because if you take your finger and you slide up from the pointy tip of your nose, the back of the nose to your upper face part, and then you feel the bones and you feel where the smallest or the thinnest point of your nose is, and where and you feel the line. You feel that your eyebrows are kind of connected to the thinnest part of your nose as well. And so when you are here and you go upwards, you feel that here your eyebrows will start, because here usually where the bones are, this is the whole of your eye, and where the bone starts, your eyebrows start as well. So just for the basic shape, this is how you draw them, is up to your preferences. And here, just to lay it a bit so that you can get an idea of the proportions. So you have the eyes, the brows, the nose, and you can put the eyelids as well. Okay, and then you go down. I go down. Here you can see that it seems to be a white space between the under part of your nose and where the mouth should be, but if you want to draw a closed mouth, there's very often the upper lip has this V shape, and don't draw a straight line. I usually don't draw straight lines. I always draw this V shape and then a bow kind of line, not a straight line. And what I do is that I look where the pupil is, and I don't go to the middle, because for my taste the mouth would be too large. I just have an orientation about here, and always look down, or you can draw a line as well at the beginning. So I have here the outer parts of my mouth. Of course, this changes if you draw facial expressions, because due to the muscles and what you're doing, these proportions will change. But this is just the basic. Okay, so I have here my mouth, or the middle line of my mouth if the mouth is shut, and the same you have here with the upper part of the lip. If you want to draw this not too big. There, and the lower lip here as well. So here you have the basic mouth. Can do it a little bit darker. Okay. What I do next is I see how I will draw the face itself, with the chin and the outer parts. You can do what you can do is to draw a small circle around here, so that you have an idea how the chin will be, so that you know, okay, here is the line of the chin. And usually what I learned in school is that here should be an eye, or the size of an eye should fit between the eyes, and an eye should fit here on this part and this part. But that's for my taste, and because I drew it more comic style, it's too wide, so I just look at a reference or just imagine how I want it to be the line of the face, and mostly I will do this bow here and here, because that's the shape of the skull, because the eye socket on the skull is mostly goes mostly till the end of the face. So here you have this shape as well. You would draw the skull, and here's the upper part, and here the cheekbones. Here are the cheekbones. You can press them a bit or lower them like you want to draw the face, and then I just carefully look how I want to draw the face. If you like or you don't like what you see, I'm not sure if I like what I see here, so you also can erase it or say, okay, it's not that what I want to draw, or you express them a little bit more. Usually what I do is that I look the space here should be the space here as well. So this thinnest part of the nose should divide the face in half. So here we have the chin, and this space should be the same than this space. So we have here the upper part of the head. Okay, what this face is missing are the eyes. The eyes, sorry, the ears. And the ears usually start a little bit above where the eyes are. So here are the eyes, and the ears start above, and they end about the height of the nose, so about here. Okay, so, and because the head is three-dimensional, this upper part doesn't wave here. The skull is about to start here. If you draw long hair, you won't see this, but if you want to draw shorter hair, you have to pay attention that the back part of the head goes behind the ears. So we can also erase this. Okay, and you have here the neck, shoulders. Yeah, and this is basically it. If you wanna see where the hairline is, this depends on the face you want to draw or the reference you are using. It could be about here or a little bit higher. Like I said, it depends. Mostly the hairline starts about here and then goes around here. And please pay attention that the hair isn't glued on the head. Although I saw a video today where someone said that there is a woman on YouTube who glued her hair to her head. Well, okay. Yeah, hair is has more volume than the head. So I won't say she has a ponytail or whatever. I will go above and just sketch kind of where the hair should be, and then you can take a look. Please always use references. It's so much more easy to draw with references, because then you can see how things are behaving. Yeah, I just can sketch the hair here. And here some loose strands if you want. Yeah, and so you have the basic shape. And what I do then is to work out the different parts. You can maybe try or start with the eyes if you want. What I do is that I pay a bit attention that the lashes, the lower lashes, don't go to this line here, because there's the teardrop. Is it the teardrop line? I don't know how it's called in English, but it's for me it's a bit more three-dimensional if there's space between here. Always you have this line here. You have an orientation how to draw. And if you're not sure, because I have a weird angle to draw, because I don't want to have my hair in the camera, but you can always see and look maybe if the upper lash line is right is even. What you can also do is, because you have this line here, and when you draw a parallel a similar line here, you see, okay, it's mostly the same height. Always put some lashes there. Same here. Let's take a look. Okay, that should fit. An eye here. Attention that they are the same size, and I'm sorry for moving my sketchbook around. The pupils. It's always a crazy look because you just draw the pupils. If you draw smaller eyes, you can put the pupils more on the upper part, and the whole iris a bit higher, but that's your preference. Since it's a sketch, I just always draw some kind of a shade under the upper lid to let it look a bit more three-dimensional, and here eyebrows, I'm sorry. The cat is having fun outside. Often just follow the way that the lashes move or grow on your face. You can check here. If something is odd, just check, and then you see, okay, this the left lash is a bit higher than the other lash. If it's fine for you, okay. No face is or one half of the face is never exactly the same like the other half. So this is more of a natural thing. Then the nose. What I like to do is, because this part here is under this mole, more often in shadow, or has a shadow because it's lower than the other parts. Lips. Just do the middle part a bit darker, and here the outer part and the lower part of her. And sometimes I just shade it a bit lighter. What you can also do is darken the upper part of the lip. You can put a shadow here. This is front, or just frontal. Is it called the frontal? I don't know. I'm sorry. You can shade this part completely, because this is more of the inside of the face, and this is more on the outside. You can, or just take a look at the reference. If the light comes from here, then you shade this part. If the light comes from here, then you shade this part more. You can put the shadow here. You can usually here is a bit of a shadow, or here. It just depends on the light is falling on the face. Here you usually have kind of a shadow, because here's the cheekbone. This is a bit darker here. Yeah, but as you can see, this is the basic shape. You can just put the ear. Yeah, and so you already have your first face. I don't pay that much attention here. You can also draw want. Let's see what fits. We have here more of a shadow, so yeah. So you have your first face. Let me check the length of the video. I don't know yet if I will do the half proportion as well, or I do another video. I will depend this on the length of this tutorial, but we'll film it directly after this one, so it's done. Yeah, thank you so much. Please let me know if it was helpful or if I should explain something more. Let me know in the comments so I know what I have to do. It's my first time doing a tutorial on YouTube, or this kind of tutorial on YouTube, so I'm still learning. Let me know, please. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I will continue now.